before we get started, we're going to need a few things. First, grab a sketchbook or an empty notebook. Then grab a sharpened pencil. There's a lot of different pencil weights, like the HBs, 4Bs, and 6Bs, but for right now, just the pencil you use for school. And then any sort of eraser will do. Now, let's get started. Hey guys, welcome to my first ever YouTube video. This is my How to Draw a Horse series, and today we're going to be drawing a horse head. So, let's get started. First, we're going to draw the ears. Make sure that this ear is curved and that it's not just two straight lines. And then we're going to draw the side of the horse's head. And this can be more of an Arabian or a draft. I'm going to do kind of in the middle. Then his nostril. And then the upper lip. And the mouth. Make sure the mouth isn't too long though. The chin. And then this line that leads up to the cheek. And then always draw this line if you're drawing a horse. Because if you'll see in a horse picture or a horse in real life, then there's going to be a bone that makes up that line right there. Now we're going to move on to the necklines. Right now, it's just to see where the neck is going to go. And then we're going to do details on the head. First, we're going to draw the eye. So, right there. And then draw a little bit of white, because that always looks good in a horse drawing, and you see it in a lot of horse pictures, so. Make sure it's a very thin line, though. And you can erase any lines that you need to, right there. And sometimes you have to redo the eye, but it's okay. Alright, and then do these lines and the nostril, because the other one's on the other side and you don't see that. Now, if you need to, you can adjust the neckline. I am going to because I do not like the position of that one. And if you need to, you can adjust these two as well. And then you see this line on the ear. Erase that, and then we're going to connect that to the rest of the neck, right there. See? Now, draw the shoulders of the horse. And if you can, draw legs. I do have enough room to draw legs, so I am going to. And then draw the chest muscles right here. You'll see those in horse drawings or in horse pictures. And you can edit this as much as you need to. I'm having a little bit of trouble drawing a good one right now. There we go. And then redraw any lines that might have disappeared during the erasing. Now, draw the crop, or the horse's bottom is going to go right there, and then leg, and then just draw the position of where you want the tail to go. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then draw another leg line right here, because the horse's bottom is shifted slightly so you can see it as well as the chest and everything else. Now, we're going to move on to the mane and tail, and then we're going to edit, and then we'll do shading, and then that will be it. First, make sure you get a really good forelock. and then onto the mane. And you can be really creative about the mane and tail. You can basically do anything, and you don't have to do how I did it. And then erase the tail if you want to redo it, and draw a new one. The best way to draw a good mane, tail, and forelock is just to look at horse pictures. Okay, now we're going to edit the horse any way you need to. I would recommend skipping this part because I'm going to do that as well. If you didn't skip through this part, then you can just sit around a little bit while I do this real quick. And then alright, now let's do some shading. First, we're going to cover the darker areas of a horse. The chin. And if you want your horse to be very light gray, then very lightly shade in the parts that I'm shading in right now. But if you're going to go for a darker looking horse, then do it darker. Then just scribble in the ear and get it to where you can just barely see that that part is darker than that part. Now, do the mane. Make sure that it is darker on the outside than the inside. And then you can color in the insides. And if you need to, erase any lines that don't need to be there. Redraw any lines that were erased. Alright, and then just color it in right there. Then do the tail. Alright, if you don't want to go any farther than this in your shading, then you're done, and I hope you are satisfied with your horse drawing. But if you want to go farther, then keep watching. So first thing you're going to do is cross-hatch the cheek, which is basically just draw it like that. Just do lines like that and then like that. Closer together or farther apart, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then you're going to color in this part. And the ear, at least the top of it, make a little bit darker. Fill in that. Alright. And make these darker as well, because they are going to be darker. And they are muscles, so you usually like to make muscles darker. And then very lightly shade it. Like very lightly. To where you can almost not see it. You probably won't be able to see it on your screen, but I am doing it. Alright, once you're done with that, take your thumb and smear it. Go over this part of the chest, and you can smear that too if you want to. Don't do the mane and tail, though. and the head. And go over the cheek as well. That's why you just cross-hatched it. Alright. If you are satisfied with the darkness of this horse, then just erase the parts around that are a little bit grayer, since there's going to be a few since you smudged the horse. Then redraw any lines that need to be redrawn. But if you want to make it lighter, then keep watching. Alright, so get your eraser and then just very lightly stroke the whole horse with the eraser until you get it to the lighter color that you want. You're basically erasing some of the color, but don't do it too hard, otherwise you're going to have to start over. Just very carefully do that over the whole horse. And then color in any parts that are white or show too much white on the paper. And color these back in a little bit darker, because again, they are muscles, and muscles are usually darker in the picture. And then do it to the horse's head and the cheek. Alright. Now you've got a lighter version of your horse. Fill in any lines, and if you feel it's too light, then you can reshade it in. Alright. Now, just erase any lines that don't look good, or if you color outside the lines, make sure to get that. And you'll probably see gray spots around your horse. Make sure to erase those too. And now you have a beautiful horse drawing. You could enter it in an art contest or keep drawing horses. Keep drawing this pose over and over, and then eventually you're going to get really good at it. It may not be a masterpiece right now, but eventually you will draw a masterpiece. I hope you liked this video, and please comment, like, and subscribe. Make sure to share with your friends so they can draw good horses too.